foreign policy advisor for the committee for responsible foreign policy. She covered the news with an outside-the-beltway perspective. Her experience with an investigative journalist ranges from national security like CMOs to the Mohammed 9/11 trial, immigration, and foreign policy. She is a TV correspondent for CWS News San Diego, as well as One America News Network, website at thedailyReport.com, theamericanconservative.com, and she streams live at periscope.com and hopefully on Facebook right now.
It says I am live.
All right. Hey, sorry there. Had a little connection problem somewhere. And I have not yet checked in with you there, but I'll get on the timeline.
Okay.
There, and everything's wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thanks, Chuck.
Me. I want to ask you right off the bat, the national emergency. Wow, I actually heard something this morning as I was working kind of TV in the background, and something about a new 9/11 bill, and what are they saying? Oh, this really is a national emergency. Wow, boy, they just can't leave him alone, can they?
They can't. He could actually come back from China with a peace agreement in his hand, and he would still be the devil incarnate. Unfortunately, the media's hatred for the president is much stronger than their love for the United States of America and the people that live here. And as you know, with your listeners, you know, most people, we work hard, come home on the weekend, we get out, some of us golf when it's not busy, and then some of us go to soccer games and things of that nature. But what we're seeing now is, you know, total disdain for the elite media here in Washington, D.C., for people that just are living normal, you know, everyday life, trying to, you know, scrape enough money to get paid off the mortgage and pay the phone bills and save for college for their children. It's very, very sad and remarkable that the president can't even do anything right in their eyes.
And you know, and I said it before, Kimberly, that you know, people are confused with their needs. You know, they're illegal, okay, and I'll spell it that way with the need. And then there's immigrants, all right, yes. And I saw a thing on Facebook today, and it showed the latest caravan. And it doesn't matter if it's the latest caravan or the next one coming about, or the one that was here 4 weeks ago. And it said, here's a picture of the longest welfare line you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And you know what? Unfortunately, that sums it up.
Yeah, actually, it was interesting. This late last week, I had sat down and had dinner with a friend who's extraordinarily liberal, and trying to sit down and explain what's going on at the border. There's no emergency. You know, we need people to come here and do the work. And for anybody that doesn't live near the border like us or been down there, you don't understand what's really going on. And, you know, this friend of mine's a doctor, and I was saying, well, look, you know, in California, in San Diego and LA, we're having a whooping cough epidemic. We're having all of the, you know, polio was eradicated. We got flesh-eating diseases and all kinds of different things because the people that are coming in this country are not vaccinated. They do not take care of themselves, and they're being allowed to come in this country without all the proper medical checks. And if you remember with Ellis Island, the Democrats are really big on saying we're an immigrant nation of immigrants. You have to stop in Ellis Island, and they could, yeah.
Yeah, that would be human cruelty. Now, you have to
Yeah.
stop them and make them and check them out before they come in. I'm going to take that bottom of the hour break. We'll be back. Kimberly Express, streaming live Facebook at her website, the KQ Report, American Conservative Emergency along the border. Amazing. I guess if you're halfway independent and halfway, mostly Democrat, there's no such thing as a national emergency. And I'll tell you, Kimberly, you know, when they talk about there's not a national emergency, even if you just took one aspect of it, that would be the drugs and all of the deaths. And we're talking about right now, because of the drugs coming across the border, we're suffering more deaths than we did weekly in Vietnam.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is something that, you know, again, this would be, you know, people are in flyover country, people who live in their cities, they're seeing this happen before their eyes. The level of drugs, has increased over the last several years coming into this country. As states in this country have legalized marijuana, that's obviously driven the price down for marijuana for people who are buying it illegally. Now, the drug cartels, who are a business, and they deal with obviously smuggling drugs and people across the border, they're looking for other ways to actually keep their keep their money trail going along, as we say down here. So what they're doing is they're trying to find more drugs and more potent drugs, and the latest example is fentanyl, and they put like a granule or two in with whatever it is they're taking, meth. They add it to cocaine, they add it to all kinds of different drugs. You get a better high, you get a longer high, and unfortunately a lot of people are very allergic to something like that, and it's causing a lot of deaths because they didn't know that they were taking this drug that had fentanyl in it. So this is something the cartels are doing. They're always going to do this. If we shut down one avenue of revenue for them, they're always going to look for something else. And they're very, very, very innovative. And we also know that with El Chapo that politicians are completely paid off in Mexico, and that's been a lot of people have said that there's also politicians in this country who've taken campaign money from known drug cartel members. So I mean, there's just a lot of death and destruction that goes along with drugs, and we don't have a secure border, and we don't know what they're bringing across.
Yeah, and the drugs they're pushing across, they are illegal, and they are the ones responsible for most of the deaths. But let me, I keep seeing this thing about, it's kind of funny, but the talk just gets cut off when they start talking about, hey, El Chapo, tell us about some of the American contributors, that you were paying off. We know you really put a lot into the Mexican, even I guess even the Mexico president was getting the previous one.
Yeah.
But you're not hearing, nobody's talking about it, and the Republicans are saying let's have an investigation on what kind of money he was spewing out to Republicans or Democrats, and the Democrats not saying anything about it. Do you think they're both high deep in it, or what's your gut feeling on it?
Well, my gut feeling is that, I mean, there's been a report when the judge during the sentencing kind of like closed the courtroom down to media and the public, and in that little, before he closed the actual room, there was, no, I don't think it's necessarily been proven, so we say allegedly in this case, that he donated, the Sinaloa Cartel donated through various channels, millions of dollars into Hillary Clinton's campaign. Now, is that true? Can we believe a guy that's going to basically be on death row and he's just trying to throw the spaghetti against the wall and hopefully something sticks? We can take that point of view if that's the cynic, you want to look at that. But we've known in the past that it's not unlike politicians to get themselves involved with, cartel activity and or, inadvertently collect money, at a campaign event. We've seen a lot of people that had to give money back because the source where the money came from was illicit activity. So it can happen. But I mean, did Hillary Clinton know about it? We don't know. We just don't know, and this is why I think having a secure border would go a long way. And we've got to figure out a system. Whether it's legalizing drugs, not legalizing drugs, shutting the border down or not shutting the border down. We need to have, we have laws in this country, and right now they just aren't being followed. That's one thing I'll say about Sheriff Joe. He was a great guy. I interviewed him. He's great, still a great guy. He said to me, he's like, you know what, Kimberly, I enforce the law. It's on the books that you can't drink and drive. I arrest people who can't drink and drive. It's against the law here. If you're driving without a valid driver's license, I do that. He said, if you told me tomorrow that the law passed and that I had to let anybody that went by, pass me by down the street doing 100 miles an hour, if it happened to be a name your race person, I couldn't give them a ticket. I wouldn't give them a ticket because that's the law. That if they want to change the law, then they better change the law. Until then, he spent his entire life in law enforcement. He's like, I'm going to follow laws that are on the books. He got in trouble. The Democrats really didn't like him much. And of course, in the end, they took him to court to sue him for this, and President Trump did pardon him, one of the first pardons that he gave of his presidency, and that was kind of a rightly so. Since when did following the law become a liability for this country?
Hey, let me ask you real quick, because I didn't hear the name you gave that you were quoting at the first. It wasn't Joe Arpaio, was it? Who was it?
Yeah, Joe Arpaio.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but for some reason, I don't know what it is, but sometimes when you talk, it's like the mic cuts out, my mic cuts out, my earphones cut out. Or maybe my little brain. Once in a while. And you mentioned they closed the courtroom, El Chapo hearing. And I'm wondering, and I just want to get your opinion on this, because you mentioned, did El Chapo give Hillary money for her presidential campaign? But then again, if you look at what the Republicans are saying, they might be saying that. But what about on the Democrats saying, well, we don't know that El Chapo gives Trump money? Are you think it's Hillary is kind of leaking out there a little bit, or is it?
Well, I think we look at it through the political lens. Right now, the left, all they think, they believe, I guess they honestly believe that President Trump is Russian and that he's working on behalf of Vladimir Putin. If you turn on TV any time of the day, walk through the metro area any time of the day where CNN is playing 24/7, you think that the president was a spy for the USSR, and the Cold War has been going strong while the rest of us have been living in peace. Donald Trump's been out there trying to wreck the world for the last 20 years. That's what you see every day. Now, when it comes to their own, look what happened here in Virginia, where I am right now. They had They had two blackface costume, the governor, and then, another politician, and then they have the AG that's been accused of rape, basically, of two separate women who didn't bring it up during the political cycle because they didn't want to make it about politics, and they're Democrats, and they're seeing zero justice. So you're seeing that these people, because the Democrats want to hold on to power so much, they're letting these people slide through. That's okay. You want to go ahead and dress up like that and lose your credibility, go for it. Look what happened to Megyn Kelly over at NBC News. She lost her job because she was talking about a costume. She didn't do it herself, but she was talking about Halloween stuff, and she lost her job. So.
Yeah. And what does Fox do whenever it's a black gay? Well, we're just going to write him out right now, and I guess you'll, still be making 75, not 75,000 because of the episode. I'm sure they get something when you're not working. That's what they do because they're members of SAG. Okay?
Yeah.
But it sure is a different situation.
Yeah.
And you hear so much stuff now. So now I'm hearing that his sister was working for Obama's campaign. And there's so much stuff coming out, and sometimes you're thinking, this all can't be true. And you make the sign of the cross, or you kneel, or if you're a native, I don't know what you do, but most of it's not true.
Well, look what they did to Tim Tebow. Here's a guy that won the Heisman Trophy twice. He was a Christian, very strong Christian beliefs, and he would bring people that were terminally ill to his football games. Most people, if you know him, he's got an infectious, likability about it. People like him, and he's got a huge, huge heart to help anybody that he can. And yet, when he did this on the football field for the NFL, somehow that was like, oh, wait a minute, you can't do that. That's just, you're not worthy to play in the football league now. But you see a lot of these athletes in in any of the sports, name the sports, they're abusing women all the time. And is that okay? Apparently that's okay. So we can do that, but praying for God, no way, we're kicking you out, and you're not going to have a livelihood is what it comes down to, is people won't have a livelihood. And that's why you're seeing people not say as much. And what happened with this Jesse guy was just ridiculous. And it just looks to me like he's in a lot of trouble with the federal law, as he should be, because for every person that actually suffers from something of that nature, this guy Jesse, who has an incredible, making tons of money in TV, was at least, for the people who can't afford it, he hurt that cause incredibly. People are not going to want to come forward because they're going to be tied to someone like him. And so he did a disservice to the country. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, I guess in football, it just depends on who's who and who's doing the kneeling. You know what I mean? Kaepernick or the other guy.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you something. It's the indoctrination that started a long time ago in our colleges, in our schools, getting rid of God, getting rid of history, and I'm telling you, Alex Newman's New American, boy, they've got an issue on that stuff now, and it's scary. And what they're doing, the second they're introducing into school.
Well, in California, in San Diego, I continue to get emails from the school district down there. Now they're talking about the new issue. They tried to get the whole, Islam religion into schools. They were successful, so now kids are learning about that. Can't learn about Jesus, but head on over to Allah and all's good. But now the latest thing is the sex education, and they're, these kids are young, and they're like, advising them how to take pills that are non-gender, so they go to keep them from going through puberty without your parents' knowledge. I mean, what country is this where a state government can tell kids who are minors, and we're talking minors in like middle school, forget high school, we're talking middle school, and they're teaching these kids what they can take, how they can get an abortion without their parents' knowledge? I mean, it's just, yeah. Oh, I know.
Listen, I had a bunch of important topics, and normally, we're really getting down to this. I have to ask you one other question about Trump real quick. Are you worried about losing his veto? The Supreme Court's going to come in. What's your opinion on that? We'll talk about this triangle of terror in a couple of minutes.
Okay. Yeah. No. He win. I mean, it's a wander its way up to the courts, and this is something that the president is job one for him. The most important thing is protecting the people. There's an abundance of footage of seeing these people come up saying we're going to come to America and we're going to bypass Mexico, even though that's where we need to stop anyways. There's a national security issue going on down there, and probably 70% of the country, if they saw the video that we see, would believe that as well. So, Trump will survive this. He might, they may force him to veto it, but if they do that, McConnell better put the Green New Deal on that book for a vote and see where they stand.
All right. 2 minutes before the break, Kimberly, Syria, Iran, still in the thing. A lot of stuff went over this weekend. Tell me about that.
Okay. Yeah, well, as you know, we've been on this show, we've been talking about the military sales program and the fact that the United States is participating in selling weapons to not so good actors across the world. In fact, we're the #1 arms dealer in the world. And over the weekend, it was a very quiet kind of reuniting, I guess you could say. But Qatar is starting to, again ally with Saudi Arabia and the UAE. They were kicked out in essence because they were supporting terrorism, and the GCC, they completely cut them out of the process, and now quietly over the weekend they've kind of got themselves back on the good side. So this long tiff they've had is kind of coming to a quiet end, and what is important about that is you're starting to see Sunni countries starting to line up. In this case, Sunni Qatar, UAE, and Saudi Arabia, all three Sunnis. And what you're seeing is because Trump is getting us out of what's going on in Syria, and Syria is kind of like a little bit of a gateway for the Shia. So they're worried that the Shia, which is the Iranians, some of the Iraqis, and they are seeing that maybe they're going to start do their hegemonic term, and they're going to all start meeting. So they're starting to bring everybody together, and they're starting to form their little bond because they think that something may be coming, and Turkey could be the linchpin for all of this as well.
Okay, we're going to go into our break here, and quick reminder, that Iran
they can either follow me at kdreport.com, or they can go to my YouTube channel, or better yet, if you are on Twitter or Facebook, I post everything up on my Facebook accounts as well as Instagram. So if they want to get me, they can do it through social media. They can go to the website, and or they can tune in each and every week here to the Wilder Radio Show.
There you go. I remember Kimberly Dvorak, D-V-O-R-A-D-V-O-R-A-K. Back to the Triangle of Fear. What's the connection with the Middle East and Venezuela?
Well, I think that what you're seeing is going, and this I think you're seeing from some of the people in Qatar and some of the, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. These folks are looking at what's going on in Venezuela, and they're seeing that our Senator Rubio here this weekend said that he was hoping or thought that would be a good idea for the Venezuelan leader to go by the way of Gaddafi, which of course he was assassinated in his country in Libya. So if you're a country like Venezuela, or you're a country like Syria, which used to have a functioning government and was very westernized, a secular country, if you're those countries and you're hearing senators saying, we ought to get back into that assassination type thing, that works out well. Well, I don't think that, that's very Catholic, and I'm pretty certain that Rubio is Catholic. I don't think we advocate for murder. And the other thing is it's against the law. I mean, we have laws that are currently on the books that, no government will be involved in public assassination or support assassination of another world leader. It just doesn't work like that. You can send it to The Hague, you can do a number of things, but we're not in the assassination business, or we're not supposed to be in that business. So when you have, fairly respected politicians making very pointed statements to a country that's kind of going through a lot, just kind of, you got to shake your head and go, I mean, where are the Republicans coming from on this one? I don't understand that, and it's not really going to be very helpful. And do we want to see more war there, or have it escalate like it did in Libya and it's doing right now in Syria? Libya is still not even a functioning country. I mean, is this what our foreign policy is going to be? And this is what, a lot of the people are advocating for. We need to stay out of this. People that I've talked to here at the Pentagon, they say stay out of it. It will sort itself out. And, they used to be a very vibrant, Venezuela used to be vibrant and democratic country. It's made a lot of serious changes, and we know where they are now, but we can't get involved in that. It's not our business to get involved.
The news broke over the weekend that President Maduro, Venezuela, had these strong terrorist ties with Hezbollah, and apparently all of these people, the Interior Ministry, former Vice President, they say those who were meant to combat drugs were actually engaged in trafficking.
Yeah.
You just never know what's at the bottom.
You
All
don't.
out of time, Kimberly, and we'll do it again next Monday, okay?
All right. See you later. Bye.
All right. Kimberly Dvorak,